one, and we're going. So when was the last thing, like what do you really want to dig into first with the whole, because I mean, between you and I, it's really been Mixer related. I mean, we've talked about Twitch, we've talked about the D Live stuff, but my second day on the platform, third day on the platform, you're the first partner folk that popped up.
See, I didn't realize it was like your third day on the platform. You might have mentioned that to me at the time, but
I did, yeah. No, I was excited because I just started on the Hype Zone stuff. I was amped because all the follows in the Hype Zone at the time, like, were like, you could get like a good 20-30 bang out of it. Easy. So I was just like, oh, at this rate, like I could have 1 million follows in like 2 years. So you just had that impression because it was just such a hot moment for that thing. And I remember you being the first folk really to talk to about like what the whole experience is like. And didn't really have that. I mean, it was just such a difference from your like interacting with you, because moving forward after that, all the partners that I really chatted with at that point were all PUBG folks. And the PUBG community is it's its own ecosystem. It's not really the same as, I want to say, the Mixer partners of old, the Beam folks.
Yeah.
You guys have kind of existed in this colonial system that's been there for a while. And Hype Zone PUBG folks are like Hawaii and Alaska. We popped up and said, hey, we've been America. And it just wasn't, it's not the same. It wasn't the same, really.
No, it's
so
it's,
what?
I just think it's a very, very different feeling from the partners and people that come from the Hype Zone era as such, compared to like the Beam days.
So what have you noticed over the lifespan, going from your time to now?
My time to now?
Your beginnings on Beam to like where we are at now with everything, to like right direction, great. I mean, there's so many ways where you can cut the pie to really kind of get after what you want to get after.
Yeah, I think it's definitely gone in the right direction. I mean, at the end of the day, back when it was Beam, it was a very quiet platform. It was, there wasn't the number of people on the platform streaming or viewing or whatever else. It was very quiet. I mean, you're talking sort of similar to how it was on D Live maybe like 6 months ago.
Right.
That sort of
because that was all sorts of dead.
Yeah, but it was dead, but it had a very sort of tight knit community feel to it.
Yeah. Because I popped up.
Everybody knew everybody. It was just really supportive, and everybody trying to help each other. And obviously, it's changed quite a lot since then. I mean, we had the change to Mixer, Xbox integration. We've got Hype Zones,
Lightstream,
everything else, Lightstream, and the types of streamer that have become more successful on the platform now.
Yeah,
quite different to the ones that became successful from the earlier Beam days. It's
because who are some like real good OG Mixer partners that have been around, that are now still kind of big wigs, that are still able to hold numbers, that can also provide that sort of grandfathering in feel. Like, because Covent was Covent kind of here from the beginning?
Yeah, I love Covent. Covent's awesome.
Was he here from the beginning?
I know he was, yeah. I'm pretty sure. I don't know necessarily like right at the beginning, because I mean, I wasn't around at the beginning, but
yeah. Who's our Adam?
That's a good question. But for me, I started watching when I first came to Beam. I was watching Nozzabox, East Meets Westy. There was a few
Brits,
few streamers that I've watched. Yeah, no, right. they were
UK.
Aussies.
Yeah.
Because of the time that I was usually on at this sort of time during the day, early morning. So a lot of the time, people from the US would have been. You get the bigger streamers that were on there, because they'd be streaming through the early hours. But
Yeah.
Generally, you'd catch the Aussies and the Brits that were sort of streaming through the day. And I caught Coven not long after that as well. Trying to think who else. I mean, the thing is that I never really watched that many channels. Never really watched that many just because it's
it takes time to watch stuff.
It takes time to relate to people, and if you're in a busy chat, it's very difficult to sort of have a chat with somebody and get that connect. So I actually didn't tend to chat with the bigger partners, the bigger channels. I would just watch them, just enjoy the
experience,
the experience, yeah. And I would tend to actually then go and chat with smaller streamers and try and just network and connect with other people on the platform.
Yeah, and that's always felt like something that should have been, and kind of as we move forward onto Mixer's lifespan, is that will be addressed. Of Mixer is, applauded for being interactive, but once those numbers come, once those chats start moving, once the volume hits, like you're not gonna see that anymore. No. At a certain point, like for the bigger folks that everyone applauds for. I mean, Coven is one interactive son of a bitch that it can. I mean, he's got 500 eyes on him. Those chats move.
He does it for so long. It's crazy.
And his Halo gameplay and his gameplay across the board it's phenomenal. Like you just don't see that. So he's in a whole category of his own. But there's other larger streamers that they will not have that kind of chat interaction as they push into the thousands of eyeballs.
No.
So I mean, I'm hoping at some point that myth of super interactive Mixer. Well, it's super small Mixer, and it's easier to talk to 12 people than it is 300, and it's easier to talk to 300 people than 3,000.
Yeah, it's a numbers game. It's just a numbers game, and it just depends how many active chatters you've got at the end of the day. I tend to be quite interactive with my chat most of the time, I feel. And even when we've got a big feature and the chat's absolutely bouncing, I just do my best to try and just reply to everybody. I feel like I'm a little bit like COVID in that respect. I just tend to just reply to everything I can.
Yeah, because I mean, you generally are able to hit back at everything. I mean, even when you're playing F1, so you're driving a bunch.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you can't go AFK on that game. Yeah, no, and you can't go AFK on that game. Like on PUBG or Fortnite or any of these BR games, you can just kind of just start running towards circle or zone and just hang out, and like you can just stare at chat for a minute. Mm-hmm. You can't do that in F1.
Pretty impossible. And it's similar when you're playing Final Fantasy 14 online. You're in a raid or something like that. You make one wrong step and you're dead. Yeah,
and I found that out with FIFA as well. Like I thought FIFA would be a great game to stream. I'm so happy about streaming FIFA, and it's like I play such a possession and counter game. I can't play FIFA and talk as much unless I just don't care about that match, and I care about the match. So it's just like, oh. We'll see how this goes.
It's difficult to balance up. It all just comes down to what kind of game you are actually playing.
Yeah, and that's why Destiny 2 has been such a hot thing for me lately. It's just I don't give a shit about this game. I can play it. I can shoot stuff. There's 5 other guys with me, and we're just raiding, and it's just mellow jello, and I don't have to worry about anything. Yeah. But what do you see? What do you think of the progression of where we're at now with Mixer? Now that Sir Ninja's here,
I think it's become a more legitimate platform. Oh my God. That's the thing. It's actually at the point now where, and mostly down to the whole ninja move, is that people actually know what Mixer is now.
Yeah.
That was always a really difficult thing over the past few years. People, oh, you're a streamer. Where do you stream? You're on Twitch. They just assume you're on Twitch.
Yep.
A lot of the time. Like, no, I stream on Mixer. Like, what's Mixer?
It's either what's Mixer or I don't give a shit because it's just it's an Xbox. They just see it as an Xbox streaming platform, and it's understandable because it just they have an ignorant lack of knowledge of it, and I mean that's just what it is. Like I remember when Beam went to Mixer when I was at E3 for that first public release to the audience, to come out and go to E3, and I just thought it was just like, oh, cool, I guess, like, sweet. There's another platform, sort of, that's there, and to the point that we're at, because that was in summer before Hype Zone, I want to say. That was the summer
2017, maybe.
Yeah, that was PUBG wasn't released, nothing like that, and I had no inkling to ever want to stream. At school, I'd work at all that stuff going on. I still do, but like I've kind of found a way to kind of slice up scheduling to make it happen. But with the Ninja thing, it's just been such the PR works big time. Yeah. Just getting the name out there. So yeah, I'm just interested on the PRs, how they plan on really migrating over all those folks that Ninja has poked at or that are his fans. Because like we saw, we had those 70, 80,000 folks that popped in those first 2 days. So yeah, those are definitely new people. He wasn't getting those numbers on Twitch anymore. He was kind of sitting around that 20, 30 world with average concurring viewership. So we definitely saw new folks. He has we're at the point, if you timestamp it now, he has 3,000 subs? Something crazy like that. Like he has like 2 point something million follows, and I thought something like 3 million subs. Yeah, because I know his subs were outpacing the follows.
Yeah, they were, which is strange.
Yeah, I think free sub, like on the homepage of Mixer, you're having a lot of people that just smash that, claim your free sub, and I think that triggered the sub on his page, and they just didn't like go actually in and like follow him.
And as we know, a lot of the accounts that come into streams at the minute, or have been for a number of months, even years at this point, they like to just follow and see the name pop up and then unfollow, things like that. So maybe they just like to see the name on screen or whatever it is. Something happening from what they do, right? Because Ninja, obviously, when you follow him, nothing happens
at all, which probably is a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing. But at the same time, they probably think, well, I'll trigger this subscription and that makes confetti come down. That's cool.
Yeah. Sparkles. Woo! Love it. Yeah, no, because now I'm starting to wonder on the fact of when you trigger, did Twitch, I don't know if I haven't just watched a Twitch person in a while. There's not a lot of stuff that goes on that screen visually.
No.
And I'm just
built in. There's nothing built in that sort of fires off.
So what that would mean for Mixer come say they hit those numbers that Twitch is that base is at right now. What does that do to the front end? What does that do to all those interactions? Like, could you imagine a chat room that has, I mean, I've seen it with like Adolf's where he's got 3-4K in there, all spamming the living daylights out of all those stickers and interactive buttons.
Yeah.
And those things can eat up the screen real quick, but they're not as bad. But you get 3 or 4 ninjas on the platform. It'll be kind of interesting seeing what those kind of chats would do. Because his chat's been kind of based out, like there's no pictures and stuff, so they can make sure that sucker runs clean.
Yeah, I think it's difficult with the chat on Mixer compared to somewhere like Twitch, where you've got different things you can do in terms of slowing it down, or having sub-only chat and things like that.
Yeah, because those are a very interesting aspect of chats. And then now with what we were seeing Mixer do with the platform in regards to access to chat at reaching a certain rank, which I mean just means that you have to follow and then watch for a little bit.
Yeah,
that's what translates your points. Or host.
Yeah, you can set it however you want in terms of when people can actually talk and everything else. So I think
can't talk to them unless you don't know.
It's quite a useful feature. I imagine Ninja will probably make use of that.
I think it would be a blessing on that channel.
Yeah,
you're gonna see a lot of stuff kind of just simmer down over there.
Yeah,
I don't even know if they have that ranking systems over there. Is that ranking system on Ninja's stream?
That's a good question. I mean, It's not even got a
doesn't have
like
pictures.
an ember crystal yet, does it?
Or yeah, he doesn't have ember. I mean, if he had an ember crystal, and he could have had all full functionality to all those mix play buttons.
Yeah.
I mean, his thing would implode.
I think that just shows that Mixer is still trying to process it all.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's they're just trying to make sure nothing, completely breaks.
Yeah, they got to ease into it.
Ninja stream to drop because of, they've turned something on that.
They 100% do not want to piss that man off.
No.
In regards to stream, he's getting the cleanest of the clean servers to launch from. I mean,
imagine he has his own. Yeah.
Yeah, they are like, if anything happens to this man, Fred's fired. Like, we can't let this happen.
Please no.
Yeah, it's probably good because I mean, Ninja has been taken. I mean, I don't really know what he was doing in regards to schedule. I don't remember him taking a lot of days off, but during his movement over, he's had some time to kind of feel about his own personal life. Yeah. Like he's gone off and done things, and he hasn't like streamed that crazy consecutive time.
No, I think he had a couple of days off recently as well, actually.
I mean, given the money that he's made from his subs, gives him peace of mind from actually doing that.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, 3 million subs in a month. I mean, it's unheard of.
But as we know, that's
gives him time to relax.
It's gonna come down. It's gonna
and it's gonna be super important because I mean, those are the next things that are be coming up to really shore up Mixer's defense of this whole thing. 20% to 30% of his subs were paid subs, and the rest of them were all Amazon Prime. So
yeah,
once those numbers come down, who's buying? And I'm not saying that in regards to like I don't give a shit about what he makes or does. No. That doesn't affect my personal life in the slightest. So I don't care. No. But for the impression of people that are on Twitch that are going to be coming over, and then just the daily streamer on what they like, the streamers that are under the impression they want to be the next Ninja, they need to understand the mathematics behind it.
Yeah. Because
if the free sub thing doesn't make its way to Microsoft for a while, you will never see those months where he had 3, 4, 5 months he had 5 months, I want to say, about 150,000 plus subs.
Yeah.
Or 100,000 subs. Those won't be real. And that needs to be understood. Like, you're going to look at something more like you're going to have, he had 4,000 paid subs his last month, and then he was bounced around between 4,000 and 8,000 for that last year.
Yeah.
So that needs to be understood. So you're at that 4,000 to 8,000 sub mark, still great money. You're still making, even at the 8 side, you're making around 18,000 to 22,000 a month. Perfect. I think that's livable. I think someone could pull that off.
I think that should be okay.
Yeah.
That should be okay.
I think they can work it out. Yeah. But that kind of we need to deflate that inflation that we have on these streamers that are making this quote unquote crazy amounts of money.
Yeah.
In ways that your even 300,000 follower streamer on Mixer is not even tapping into. You got AdSense, you got the free subs, and the views and the numbers on Twitch reflect differently. And a lot of the Twitch folks have pretty well established, like they really get after the YouTubes, and we had talked about this earlier in the day. Twitch can translate to YouTube pretty well, it seems. Like you see Shroud clips, you see Ninja clips, Dr. Disrespect, you see those clips, you see those guys have their YouTube platforms. Prior to Ninja, Adolph's might have been the only really powerful YouTuber. 500,000 subs on YouTube. I mean, there may be more from some of the other Brazilian folks that came over and that are made that migration from Twitch to Mixer, but there's not a lot of steadfast, strong YouTube present streamers on Mixer, and I would hope that is soon addressed by really the content creators themselves, if not Mixer, being like, hey, get some curators to really clean up some VODs and put stuff out on YouTube, because that's the next movement you make to really pull in a YouTube crowd. That's a lot of Google has a lot of eyeballs that watch YouTube.
There's a lot of people.
Cast some lines for God's sake.
Yeah.
Because that's a pool. That's an ocean. Mixer's a pool. That's an ocean over there.
It is.
Throw your stuff over there for the love of God.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, isn't it? It's,
But yeah, back to all that. I mean, you have to have these revenue sources to really show that this is a long-term thing moving out. Because worst comes to worst, Ninja drops to 3-4K subs after the millions that he had the first 2 months. What does it show about Mixer? It shows you that the demand's not there, right? Or the supply of the subs is not there.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a case of...
And that would freak out a bunch of Twitch folks.
If they don't have anything in place in terms of a free subsystem integrated with something else, like on Twitch, then...
Right.
People are still going to just look at it as like, well, he had that number there, he's got this number here, Mixer must be bad. That's how people will just look at it. They're not going to bother. They're not going to be bothered about whether
what's actually true
feature or whatever else.
Yeah. I don't give a damn about FTL.
It's relevant to them.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting. I mean, we'll just have to see how things go. But
we've seen it addressed so far in the Game Pass. Like with the Xbox Game Pass, they're squeaking in some credit towards the streamers. Love it. I wish it was a little more ease of access for the viewer. Yeah, I wish like the viewer could just claim their sub if there was something in place that Mixer could read the account that shows that it has Game Pass, because you can get Game Pass for $1 for 3 months.
You can.
So
the thing is as well that I feel like a lot of people have probably upgraded already as well. So I'm not sure at the minute it will have.
Yeah, because I don't think you can simply just cancel it and then
I think if you've done it within the last 30 days, you can still apply the code. So that streamer still gets the knockback from that.
What about if you jump on Super Ultimate Mega Game Pass or Ultimate Game Pass or whatever they call it for PC?
Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. I think it's only for that anyway. I'm not sure.
Oh, I for some reason I was under the impression it was just for regular old Game Pass.
Yeah, I think it's Ultimate only.
Well, that's good. Kind of, because I mean you're bringing in a PC crowd at that point.
Yeah, and this is it. We do need more of that. But yeah, I think it's Ultimate only. But we've had, I mean, in the last however many months this year, we've had since they announced Ultimate, we've had the upgrade for £1 or $1, whatever it was. A lot of people have done that already.
Yeah,
it won't be in that window anymore. So I don't think it's going to have a huge effect right now, especially for everybody. Maybe they've introduced it later, so that everybody didn't just like jump on it all at once.
Yeah, because if they overload anything, God bless, they don't want to do that.
I think it's still a nice little perk. It's not. I don't think it's groundbreaking, but
it's not prime now.
How they use the creator code in regards to other things going forward, and seeing if they can integrate it with other games and such.
Yeah, because I mean they have them with games. I mean, if you buy a game through a partner that he's listing, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of hope, because this is an interesting thing that Twitch doesn't necessarily have, is they're not, Amazon's Amazon. They're not Sony. They're not Microsoft. They're not a PC market share. I don't believe they advertise game purchasing through content creators, unless you have like certain codes where Mixer can, advertise that game purchase on that stream. So I'm hoping, for Mixer's sake, they're going to keep advertising and keep pushing the living daylights out of that and make it a little even more easier for content creators to receive something out of these purchases. Because I'd even be good with them kicking out, if you purchase any of these Xbox Studio exclusives, kicking out free, like you'll have a free sub at that purchase.
Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be cool.
What's $5 on top of? Because they've already said Halo's going to be, what is the word I'm looking for? There's gonna be microtransactions. There you go. And Halo 6, and that freaked people out. But I mean, there's a revenue source right there that is, I want to call it a sin tax. It's a sin that the studio has it, but if you're gonna have this sin, tax it and kick it to the content creators that it's coming from. A slice of it at least.
Yeah.
If not a free sub. So I would like to see them finding ways using software revenue to kick towards the creators, because Amazon doesn't have, and Amazon/Twitch doesn't have that kind of capability. I mean, I hope it works. It's just a matter of, like, I mean, the next thing that kind of has to be addressed by Mixer, the platform, is policies. Because I mean, with this overflow of viewership coming over, you've been chanting Mixer's safe, Mixer has no trolls, that kind of just dialogue that in a more of a professional format that's been said.
Yeah. And
they've had things as of late pop up that could fall underneath issues. There's been, we've had creators have things pop up recently that you would not want on the platform. Twitch got in trouble for it a couple weeks ago because they had the female streamer drop the N-word from a song onto a stream, and that wasn't addressed. And everyone was like, well, Mixer would have addressed that. But Mixer's had that now. Mixer hasn't addressed it because it's in such a unique space of how it occurred.
And
but
it's had other things in the past as well that a lot
have
of people
gone.
probably won't be aware of. So,
yeah.
They've not dealt with it. It's not been quick. There's ways that you have to go about it anyway. But yeah, I kind of look at it as a sort of, when you see advertisement for Macs and Chromebooks, you don't get viruses on these. It's almost like the whole, you don't get toxicity on Mixer.
Yeah,
I see it as a sort of similar thing where you can, and as things pick up and more people using the platform, you're going to get more of that.
Yeah, 100%.
And we have seen it. We have seen it recently, and people are people. People are the same people wherever they are.
Yeah, just because I watch a purple platform doesn't make me less of a piece of shit if I come over to a blue one.
Yeah.
Like if I'm a piece of shit human being, I want to be a piece of shit over here too.
Exactly. So
like it's not going to change anything.
It's all just rhetoric and people being protective of their platform and whatever else. It's like just like what you see with like console wars and everything. It's no different. And
they've done a good job humanizing the staff. I don't want that to go too far, because it's great that they're humanized, but at the same time, you don't want to feel like they're over your shoulder at a lot of scenarios. Like you want to be able to reach out, you want to be able to talk to them. You don't want to be you don't want to be a Twitch partner interacting with a bunch of automated response emails until by some act of God you finally talk to a human being. Like you don't want to be that person. You don't want to be that's why we don't call centers anymore, because forget that shit. But like
no.
And I mean I'm pumped because there's a lot of good folks over the Stein and all those guys that work the PR stuff.
Yeah.
Fun, super interactive folks that you don't have that at Twitch at all. And that's good.
I think that sort of leads into the whole thing with Catbot as well. A lot of people talking about, they don't want to feel like they're being, people looking over the shoulder all the time. Like Catbot's just there working away pretty much all the time. Even you can't turn it off. It's moderating the chat.
Yeah, and so, I would give Catbot even like a high five, just because it does generally block the stuff that you don't want in your chat. It's going to block the N-word. It's going to block most racial terms.
Yeah.
It's going to, it even blocks Pachinki, for the love of God. So, it's doing its job.
But I even before it was, it got to the point where they had it on sort of low level in the background all the time. I always had it on low when they first unveiled it, when they first gave us the
Yeah.
choice to use it. I had it on low the whole time, and it's been great. I
Yeah.
think for the most part, it's been great.
I think that's the best format to have it on.
Occasionally, you get messages being deleted. But
Yep.
it's not a big deal. You can still see the messages as long as you don't have it so that deleted messages just disappear. And you can even restore it if you need to.
Now, would you want the messages as a whole to be just deleted off? Like, say someone drops the N-bomb in your stream. Do you want to see that, or do you want it gone? Because those deleted sentences still hit the streamer. Like, if it's this big, long, drawn-out thing to the streamer, if it's like a paragraph
response. That just comes down to how you want to manage it. I mean, there is...
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's a... I don't know if there's a Chrome extension or something you use that actually just deletes everything that's deleted.
Yeah.
So you don't see it. It might have been built into chat now, I can't remember. But I'm fine with just leaving it on. But I imagine some of the female streamers in particular that get some absolutely...
Oh yeah, you'll get a guy go on a paragraph spree on how he wants to do some just like, oh my god, things, and it's just like that needs to just be super, like the whole thing needs to be deleted and gone, like so they don't even have to look at that shit, because now they're not reading.
Mental well-being, and it's just mental well-being, just protecting the streamer as such. Because
I think a lot of them expect the boobs comment, stupid stuff like that, but like when they'll have someone, I mean, because there's plenty of folks that will just get on alternative accounts, and if they're having a shoddy day and they want to go piss someone else off that they dislike actually on the platform, that's an easy route to take. They can just, jump on that, send out a paragraph, it gets deleted, but it's still there for her to see, her or even he to see it. Mm-hmm. So I think, as Mixer keeps growing with all this stuff, the policy enforcement side of everything is going to be the next prodded piece that they have that's going to be really put to the test.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge.
And I'm curious to see how it goes, because you really do not want then the whole toxicity comment coming to Mixer. You don't want to have that on top of, because you're in such a good space right now with Twitch sucks.
Yeah.
Screw Twitch, come here. We're not toxic. I mean, that's a good pitch. But once you get that, folks coming over, I mean, I've seen several folks that have said, I've been banned on Twitch, so I came over to Mixer.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know if I want that. Like, if you were banned on Twitch, what the hell were you doing on Twitch?
Yeah.
And because, I mean, you could throw a dog off a balcony and get slapped on the wrist sometimes, and it's and then you're fine. You can walk into a bathroom with a camera on, a week later, you're good. It just, if you get banned on Twitch, did you kill someone on stream, and then why are you on Mixer now? Because I don't think we would want that kind of content creator.
No.
I don't think Mixer would want that kind of content creator on Mixer.
I do think they are trying, they're taking steps at least, and they're trying to...
Yeah.
They're actually trying to keep it as a positive space as such, keeping the toxicity down as much as possible. And, you're not going to get rid of it altogether. There's always going to be cases of it. But as long as they're actually working to do that, that's the main thing, I would say. There's other platforms that just don't. No,
DLive, hilarious. Twitch, what a joke. Facebook kind of is there, but Facebook's a different beast of its own.
Well, Facebook's unique in the sense that people are most of the time using their real accounts, their real names and everything. So
and it creates that.
If you're going to say something really, really bad or do something really, really bad, it's going to come back to you in a really, really bad way. Yeah,
because I mean that kind of brings the conversation of, if you want to legitimize these accounts for safety's sake, Facebook's doing probably the best way to do it, right?
Yeah.
If Eric Carl from Wisconsin called me a bitch, I know where Eric Carl is. Exactly. And like, dude, I'm throwing hands if it gets to it. And
so it's it makes people behave.
Yeah.
In a better fashion. I think.
Because
and then you could have people say, "Well, we don't want people having real names because then it puts people at risk." Like, well, that's life.
Life's a risk.
Anyway, yeah.
I have a risk getting shot when I go to 7-Eleven.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
like,
I'd rather that than people being able to just pretend to be somebody else and say whatever the hell they want. You'd rather be able to call them out for it.
yeah.
Properly.
Because, I mean, at a certain point, we know PewDiePie's name is Felix, and where he like a general idea where he lives, and we know Ninja's Tyler Blevins.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if these people are in distress or are going to be put in distress, they've already outed themselves as who they are. So that then just brings it should be considered having back-end information, their name.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah. Just because it seems like I don't want to go on Facebook and say nice tits or anything like that, because that's on me.
Yeah.
I can get on Black Cheese 343 and say crazy shit, and it doesn't matter because who the hell's that? Like,
yeah, it's nuts.
Doesn't matter. So I think Facebook's offering the best solution for safer streaming.
Yeah.
Safe for really anything.
It's gonna be interesting going forward, seeing how Facebook grows in regards to the streaming side of things. I think they're starting to go quite a bit now, and they actually overtook Mixer recently, didn't they?
Do they have a plugin where
No, it was YouTube. I think it was YouTube that overtook Mixer in terms of.
No, it was Facebook. Facebook overtook. Yeah.
Was it Facebook? Yeah.
Yeah, because they jumped from whatever percent to 5%.
Yeah, they went to third.
Yeah,
And Mixer fell to fourth. That was it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when it was just like, at that point in time, we were all talking about like, well, what the hell was the point of all this Spark stuff? All these content creators aren't bringing in new folks; they're just bringing in new farm boys.
Yes.
And what is that really doing? And then you had Facebook overtaking. So there was some good news about us tripling viewership, watch time, but at the same time, it's like, well, I mean, what's that going to be once farming's done?
This is
with Sparks.
Farming definitely made up the majority of that.
Yeah, Mixer's going to be in such a parameter to watch from now until December. We're going to see Ninja's D-Day for no more subs from Microsoft to see how those waters are tested.
Yep.
We're going to see what happens with all these new folks that are going to be coming in. I mean, there's so much going on. We're testing out the Xbox Game Pass content creator edition. I mean, there's so much being tested. Or all these were a lot of those numbers fake. Like, we're going to get so much information in the next 6 months about Mixer's validity.
Yeah, and I think Mixer's probably in. It's more of a problem for Mixer rather than say Facebook or YouTube. As I said before, they've got an ocean of people.
Yeah, Facebook has
use those platforms.
Hundreds of millions.
Oh, it's crazy.
Hundreds of millions.
They've got those that
they've got the supply
people to actually just pull people in, whereas Mixer's not really got that. Twitch is obviously its own thing because it was there first and it's got the biggest base.
Yeah, and then everyone's got an Amazon.
YouTube and Facebook have got so many users that they can draw from.
Yep.
Build that in, and that's why they're getting an increase. Mixer's got Xbox, but they've already had that. And
they had the worst console sell to Sony. Like, that ratio was the worst ratio they've ever had.
Yeah.
During this generation. So it then also matters, how will they launch your next console? Can we compete with Sony this time, for the love of God? Or
I would expect this time it will go a lot better.
Yeah, they've learned. They can't push the market. The market pushes you.
Yeah.
And they learn that they've learned that with so many devices. Mm-hmm. Don't want to even talk about the Zune, but like with the Kinect only consoles, everyone said, I do not want to Kinect. I don't care about a Kinect. Kinect Animals doesn't do it for me. I don't want to do Dance Dance. I don't care about this stuff.
$80 to $100 more.
Yeah.
For a device I don't want to use.
What in God's name did you think was going to happen with your
Yeah.
console sales? Because no one wanted that. So yeah, I'm just hoping as we move forward, and on top of that, with all the cloud gaming stuff that's coming out, you could quote off a console sell with those cloud devices that they're going to be offering for subscriptions.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think
it'll be interesting going forward with that. But
so much
I
is.
think it's still going to be, as you said before, they need to do more in regards to putting stuff on YouTube. That's the content creators as well. It's all part of it.
That's a big chunk of them.
And even Facebook.
Oh shoot! Now, yeah, I wish there was more of a partner situation that you could have in regards to Microsoft butting up with Facebook and kind of plug in both. Like somehow Facebook can capture the ad revenue, but Mixer could plug in, have some sort of embedded URL video feed where they'll get that viewership number as well. So then, but it's such a tricky matter on how you can actually get it to work out. But yeah, it's just a matter of Mixer just has to go find its ocean of folks. And to me, that's just all the Outlook stuff, all the Office 365 stuff. You have all these folks that have free Office 365 from universities. Go target these universities, please. There's a lot of college kids that I think college is a great time frame to be streaming. You're looking at minimal work. I mean, you're working, 15, 20 hours a week. You're just doing, those first 2 years of college are worthless to begin with. I mean, you could easily be streaming and building up some sort of base. So I'd be targeting colleges a lot more. If I'm
they've got to look at these things. And
there's options all over the place. I mean, there's smart people over there.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd give them their credit and experience, but yeah, I'm hoping something kind of shapes in that kind of format. As we have talked about with the whole D23 Disney stuff, we had some good things and we had some bad things. The Mandalorian.
Yes.
Because I've never messed up that name before at any point.
Not the Mandarin.
Not the Mandarin. The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And looked really good. There's a lot of actors there that I like a lot that have been in other TV shows that kind of know how to bring that A game. We have what's his face from Game of Thrones, the Viper.
Yes.
That got his head sent into a million pieces. He's going to be in it, head and all. We've got Taika Waititi from good old Thor Ragnarok and all the other great moments in life that he's contributed to. Who else is there? Oh, what's his face? Gus from Breaking Bad. Yes. That gentleman's name. There's actors. I mean, these are all great. I mean, we got a Game of Thrones actor. We got a Breaking Bad actor.
Yep.
Like, we've got a director that is also a great actor. We've got a lot of folks in this movie, and it's pretty gritty looking. Like the trailer opening up, I saw someone get sliced in half.
It just.
I like that.
It just looks fantastic. I think it just looks high quality, really high production values.
For a TV show too,
great cast. Yeah, it's crazy. And I had a feeling that you know, if they were going to do TV series, they'd actually go all in and it'd be really big budget.
Yeah.
I mean, they need to do that to launch the service. They have to.
Well, it's always felt like the TV shows. The TV shows have had that 5 to 8 year gap in CGI effects that they can budget in. Like, they're always 5 to 8 years off. And after last season's Game of Thrones, with how shitty it was, the CGI in it was still phenomenal.
Top notch. Yeah.
So it's like we're finally seeing this theater-worthy CGI coming up that is now in movies. And, the Mandalorian looked like it had Star Wars CGI in it. They weren't playing around.
It really looked great.
So that's exciting. I like that. Obi-Wan, really Ewan McGregor getting dug out of the freaking chest for God's sakes finally and being distributed to the masses looks like it's going to be a fun thing because I'm excited for Obi-Wan.
I am, and I think he'll actually get...
He'll have a series, I'm not going to just...
deserves.
Yeah, I'm not going to just see him in an episode or two. I'm going to see him in a series.
it didn't. I kind of feel like they didn't really do his character justice in the films anyway.
Well, because he's such a top-notch actor.
He is. He really is.
I mean,
the films weren't exactly the best.
One was kind of bland. They didn't really do Ewan any justice other than his lightsaber fight with Darth.
That was still the best lightsaber fight.
Oh, dude, that one's good.
I'm not gonna lie. I used to rewind and watch that.
Well, Duel of Fates was just one of the greatest songs composed from anything, anywhere.
It's so good.
So, yeah, there was just so much right about that moment. But even at the same time, Obi-Wan's and Anakin's and Yoda's and the Emperor's conflict at the same time, that's pretty damn close.
It was pretty good.
Because that was also another really good soundtrack that they had playing in the background of that.
Yeah, Battle of the Heroes or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, Battle of the Heroes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we finally get to see Ewan back and doing Obi-Wan stuff, doing God knows what. I mean, I don't know if you're or aware, but during the whole Solo thing, you kind of saw with all the rumors of, well, they're going to bring Obi-Wan back, and they're going to finally do the because in the cartoon series you see Obi-Wan and Darth Maul duke it out in Tatooine. Well, they're leading up to Solo going to Tatooine, and Obi-Wan's there, and Darth Maul's, there's his appearance. So we're finally going to get that refight. And I still hope we get that refight.
Sort of set before, or
it was set for that timeline that they encapsulated from whatever part of that conflict was when Obi-Wan goes back to Tatooine. They had that on the TV show on one of the Disney Channel episodes. I don't know if it was Clone Wars or what. Could have been Rebels. I think it was something Rebels, where it was just starting to slightly format the rebellion, and you have Obi-Wan and Darth Maul duke it out because Darth Maul is a part of his own little gang or whatever that he enforced. But that was hinted at, and now we'll get a whole TV series, and I'm hoping it encapsulates that time because I want to see a Darth Maul Obi-Wan rematch in live action, not just cartoon.
That'd be great.
I
was sort of expecting it to just be sort of, on time.
Him moping around.
Yeah, just like exploring caves. Lighting.
A lot of Bilbo Baggins stuff. Looks like he's just kind of hanging around a mountain somewhere. I hope we get some. I hope if we don't get Darth Maul, that would hurt. But if we can get something with a lightsaber out every now and then, that'll do it.
I think we have to. I think you'd have to, really, wouldn't you? If you've got a full series around a Jedi Knight, there has to be a lightsaber somewhere. Otherwise, people will be very unhappy.
Oh, people will lose their shit, and knowing how they're probably going to play it up, I totally could see him like not using his lightsaber for a good chunk of the TV series, and then like the last two episodes, he just has to overcome something. Like, remember, this is Obi-Wan. He's got a lightsaber. Get it?
Yeah.
But so those two things I was pretty excited about for the Star Wars stuff that was brought up. When we walked up on the episode 9 stuff, I don't know, man. The Last Jedi is still like a dagger to the kidney. Like, I don't like.
It is.
Like, I'm dead now, and I don't know if I give a shit.
I'm actually exactly the same. Would you believe it?
Luke,
I still can't get over that film. I'll be honest. I mean, I only watched Solo.
I watched it after it came out.
Well, after, I watched Solo after the last.
And I felt bad because it was decent, It wasn't
pretty decent.
I take it over
enjoyed it.
In either one of the 2 trilogy episodes. Like Rogue One and Solo were the better ones.
Rogue One was so good.
Yep.
I loved Rogue One.
I wish they had the time to kind of get the imagery that they wanted, or they didn't have to do the reshoots. But I mean, it still ended up being a pretty fair movie. But yeah, both trilogy episodes, Last Jedi and The Force Awakens.
Force Awakens was just too safe.
It was the same thing. I walked out of the theater like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Yeah. But I was a lot more with The Last Jedi. I mean, I
100%. Well, I would just sit in there pissed the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, starting off, like, I see Leia get blown out of the freaking damn spaceship and get sucked back in like some.
Oh my days!
I was like,
so hard.
I
so hard.
Oh my god! I've never been so mad in the theater. I looked over at my
literally-
family members, and I'm just like,
yeah, I did.
this shit.
My other half looked at me as like, "Are we really watching this?"
Oh
And
God.
I was just like, I was embarrassed for being there.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
I felt
And
like
then
I was
everything else
watching
just-
VeggieTales in public. Like it just, it felt like something. I mean, and I didn't want to be there. I just didn't like it. I didn't like the way I felt.
I didn't. I just felt like I didn't want to be there anymore. And yeah, the whole throne scene, the fight in there, was fantastic. But that was the only part of the film I actually enjoyed.
Yeah, I think you're correct. Because I mean, I didn't. Not even the throne scene, just because some of the way that the fights were going down. I still do not buy Rey. I don't give a damn if she's a female. The choreography for her is so bad for the lightsaber fights.
Yeah.
I wanted to bawl during the first fight we saw of Finn and Kylo, and then her and Kylo, because it was like Kylo's been training with a lightsaber for what, like 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
These two literally just picked up a lightsaber today.
I mean,
And
she did use a staff, didn't she? Quite
you
well.
could have used a fucking
Well, yeah.
M16 and then been given a lightsaber and not felt like so like no, like it's such a different thing. And yeah, I was just taken aback by it just felt very disrespectful to even the Jedi's craft. It's like these dudes do this their entire lives to train.
Yeah.
Like even Anakin spent 7, 8, 10 years before he was out there throwing around lightsabers on Attack of the Clones, and even then he got his hand chopped off and punched into a wall, and he looked like an idiot. And same with Luke. Luke's first lightsaber battle, arm goes off, shot down a chute. Like, I mean, come on, dude. Like, what am I watching right here?
Limb.
Yeah, for all we know,
lost a limb.
Obi-Wan like fought and trained some, and he held his own against the Sith.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, you take all those factors and you throw it into like the logic in 7 and 8, it just doesn't add up.
There's
But
no
going
logic
in
to any of it, it's just all. I really don't know. I don't know the whole bombing run.
I'll go on an hour spiel about that. Going back on the trailer though for 9, the Swiss Army Darth Maul saber thing. I don't.
Did it just look like decent cosplay to you?
It honest to fucking. I'm gonna just. It did. It honest like it did. It looked like someone drew that up. It looked like someone drew that up at Comic-Con and said, "JJ, I swear to God, I focus group this. It works. They love it.
This is it."
And JJ was probably high out of his mind at the time. And that was it. And he was like, yeah, throw it in. Screw it.
Well, you know, when you look at the fact that he did the first movie,
it's like you're not surprised almost, right?
No, not surprised.
Because I'm gonna get episode 3. I mean, I'm gonna get episode 6 and episode 9. Like, I may not be on an indoor. I expect to see an Ewok at some point. Like, with how copy and pasty JJ is, I'm gonna see an Ewok.
Yeah.
100%. And I hate that.
They'll win the fight for us.
We're gonna have an Emperor throne scene battle. Like the Emperor is like looking over 2 people fighting again.
Yeah.
Again in a trilogy.
That's gonna happen.
It's like you did so well with the first 2 Star Treks.
Oh my days! The first 2 Star Treks were great. Loved them.
To come over and be so like, it's either Kathleen Kennedy controlling the sticks, or JJ has no balls.
Yeah.
To really tamper with
I
something
agree.
that's like a childhood passion.
But it just seems like everything that's not main series Star Wars is turning out to be great, but the actual main films are just beyond awful. I don't understand why. I don't quite understand why that's happening.
I don't get it. I don't know what's going on. I don't understand, like, hearing these people talk at these expos and things, and it's like, who is like confirming these situations along the way? Who's saying yes to this stuff?
I don't know. They're
Like,
not Star
'cause
Wars fans
no,
knowledgeable in any way.
no, they're just like Billy Bob Joe. What do you think of this? This is a cool concept. You know Star Wars? I have never seen a Star Wars in my life. Well, perfect. We want you. Get in our focus group. Tell us if this works. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Episode 9 was a sour taste just because The Last Jedi was such a devastating pile of garbage.
Yeah.
That 9, there's just I got honest to God couldn't tell you what I would want out of Episode 9.
I had accepted Force Awakens.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, fine. It's okay. It's not completely horrible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure the next one will be great. And now I was just devastated. I was. Oh.
And then Luke died from pushing his existence across a universe. He died from just pushing his floating being. I mean, that could have been a hologram. You could have just flicked a hologram on the ground and like let it lit up.
The bit before that, where they're like going towards the whatever they are, at walkers, whatever they were. I don't even know. What on the skimmer things?
Yep.
Why? They did nothing with those. Like they didn't even. What did they even have? Like
we're gonna fly these things out here and crash.
Yeah, I mean, did they have any weapons? I didn't see any weapons on them. I didn't see anybody fire anything.
Nothing.
Like,
they just drove out and blew up, and they didn't even blow up into anything good.
And he's going straight at this thing, and then she comes across and hits him from God knows where. How she even got there, I have no idea.
Fairy dust. The same reason Leia flew across space.
Oh my days.
There was just so much explaining. I mean, Disney turned a blind eye to the critics. And by the critics, I mean the people that actually gave a shit that weren't paid. And you could just tell.
And just all the dialogue is so cheesy. And
so bad. Everyone gave George Lucas crap. And it's like...
I know, right?
It's like, did we just not... Episode 8 was almost as bad as like Phantom Menace's dialogue.
Yeah.
Phantom Menace had the resolution of we got Duel of Fates out of it at least. Attack of the Clones had the resolution of the final battle on Geonosis.
Yeah. I mean, Episode 1 had, obviously, it's got the fight, it's got the pod race, it's got...
Yeah, the pod race.
There's some epic things in
There's some low points in there, but there's these great high points. That's the thing about the prequels. Yeah, you had low points in acting and stuff, but you had these great high points with all the battles and stuff. Because George knew what he was doing when it came to battles.
He did.
But for God's sake, you're just having all these like slightly below average, just across the board. Makes you want to cry.
It actually does. I feel really depressed now.
Yeah. Well, see you December.
Yeah. Can't wait. Day one.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully by then we'll have Mandalorian cheering us up. But yeah, it's
and I will. I'll go and see it day one. I know I will.
I know. I think I'm petty enough to avoid helping out their box office numbers.
Or will we just be like massively surprised at how good it is? There's not really much of a chance, is it?
I don't know what like I said, like at this point I would offer thoughts and ideas for what I would want out of this, and I can't. I don't know what I would want because 8 was so bad.
As soon as they revealed that, Palpatine's back in, I was like, really?
It's like y'all are digging.
No. I know. Why?
They're digging. Like, it's all like, and when they did that dumb trailer and had all of the prequels and the OG film stuff, and then they showed us the poop trilogy. It was like, you can see how, like, the value in this stuff decreased. It was like watching a stock market crash when they played that. It was like I don't want to see a stock market crash. I want to see the Great Recession. Like I want to see like success and like oh God, this was great, and oh God, it's not at all. I'm sad.
I'm sad. I'm very, very sad. I was sad on the day that I watched it, and it hasn't left me since.
I mean, what can you do?
I don't know. Watch the spin-offs.
I mean, I guess. I mean, there's that's all you can do. I don't. There's nothing. Pray.
But the trouble is that these films follow on from some of our favorite films, and you want to see what happens.
Yeah, I want to see what the resolution of all this stuff was.
Yeah,
we're not gonna get it.
No, we're not.
We're not having it.
We're just going to end up really pissed off.
Well, I'll be right
like
there
we are
you.
right now.
Yeah, we'll be sitting in front of chairs and cameras and bitch.
Yeah, just bitch about everything.
Well, I mean, thanks for the time. Like, this was, I mean, I've been wanting to have this. Like, you were one of the first folks that I thought of when the podcast thing finally was able to show some sort of form. And I hope we can do it a bunch.
Asking, I appreciate you asking.
In a heartbeat.
I enjoy doing stuff like this. We'll follow up after.
Yeah, we'll have this puppy out. Hopefully evening of tomorrow or today.
Yes.
Because I stayed up, woke up at 4 a.m. for this puppy, because your time zone things. So we're killing it.
For my time.
No, it was worth it. It was 100% worth it. All right. Well, thanks again. Adios.